All right, so I am very excited for this call. I have not done many of these calls, but when I was asked to host, I was trying to think of someone that we don't get an opportunity to see enough of. You know, we're part of FFL America, but there's so many other divisions out there that have just phenomenal trainers. And I have had the pleasure of meeting Bryan Mendenhall at several different sales conferences out on the East Coast. And so I thought, who better than to jump on our call? So I would like to give you, an official opening. So please welcome Bryan Mendenhall, board member of Central Division. How are you, Bryan?
Phenomenal. Thank you for having me on. Hey, I wanted to congratulate everybody that went out and helped people last week. You guys had some people killing it, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're definitely catching some momentum, so we're excited over here as well. But I was looking at your numbers, and I mean, your team was at what, 1.2 last month?
1.2, yeah.
All right,
we're on the grow. We're on the grow right now.
Okay.
And I saw you talking about the VP bonus. I wanted to tell everybody, it doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. In the words of Bryan Mendenhall, it doesn't suck. All right. So Bryan, I'd love for you to just give a quick intro. You know, as I was saying, I know we're all part of different teams, so I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about you.
So a little bit about me, guys. I come from the gym background. I used to be in really good shape. I'm not anymore. I'm working on it. But I worked 10 years at LA Fitness Sports Club, working 70-hour weeks, slaving. I thought I was doing pretty good. I was making about 120 grand a year. And when I actually broke down the numbers and realized I'm working double time and realized I'm actually making about 60 grand a year just working twice as much. I did that for 10 years until they pissed me off, excuse my language, but they made me quit because they wouldn't even give me a vacation. So I've been in the insurance industry. I left there. I went to another company, started at 55%, okay? Worked my way up. First year, I was actually able to make 120 grand, which is exactly what I made, but I was only working 40 hours a week at a 55% contract. Now, I did have to spend a lot of my money on training. I had to pay for books. I had to pay for everything, but I did make 120. Second year, 200. Third year, 250. Fourth year, 250. Fifth year, 250. And then I was able to partner with FFL. My first year went over 500 grand deposited in my bank account just from this system, the leadership, the mentorship. Sean, his vision is crazy. He's a visionary. So, I just love the opportunity here. I kind of played with this for a little bit. I won't lie to you. I was a little bit of a secret agent. What I mean by that is the money was crazy. I made great money. I bought houses and cars and all these toys, and nobody actually knew what I did for a living. So people probably thought I sold drugs or something. I don't know, but I just was keeping it to myself. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know if I thought it was going out of style or like it wasn't enough for everybody. I will tell you that, okay? When I first came here, we were all just mortgage protection only. We didn't really have a lot of other lines of sources for leads. So I felt like if I were to hire people, I would run out of leads for myself. I was kind of like, I didn't want to hire anybody. And then they started coming up with new innovative ways to buy new leads. Facebook came out, then instant internet came out. And now right now I can hire 100 people in my backyard with no problem. And it's not going to be an issue. But more importantly, like around 500K, like the money started not to matter anymore because I'm making like almost 8 times what my mom ever made. Then it started like about 2 years ago, it started to actually make a difference where I thought about other people. I'm like, all right, it's not about me anymore. Now it's about other people. That keeps me from being tired. That keeps me moving because people are actually watching what I'm doing. So I'm trying to actually lead from the front, which is probably one of the reasons why we're on the phone right now, because I'm back in the field. I'll be honest, I'm not a hypocrite. I do not want to get on a training call and talk about anything with sales or anything if I'm not actually doing it or haven't done it recently. So I've been out of the field for 2 years and now I'm back in. And man, I got to tell you, I forgot how easy it is to print money, how simple this business is, how good it feels to have somebody hug you, even though it's COVID, but like somebody hug you when you're leaving and them just thanking you that you helped their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you recently got back in the field. So we're talking about a board member that has a team that is writing 1.2 million in a month, and you are out in the field with your team. So I heard that your first 2 days were not bad. How did that go?
So, well, if you want to know how my first 2 days went, I got punched in the mouth. I probably lost a couple of teeth, but it was kind of cool. I was able to book 18 appointments on my dial day, right? First day I had 9 appointments. And out of 9 appointments, I got to sit on 2, I think. But
Okay.
the two that I sat on, I did right like 4 grand, whatever. And then the next day I sat on, out of 9 appointments, I think I sat on 4. And I did end up helping those too. So I did end up writing like $12,000 my first 2 days back in the field. But if you look at it, I mean, the appointment ratio was off. I really tell people to know your numbers. So like if you're brand new, I mean, you're going to have to write 40, you're going to have to run 40 appointments to maybe get those same results because you haven't arrived yet. You might not be that good, but you can still have the same results. Just run your appointments. But yeah,
So
12
you
grand, my
didn't have
first,
the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, yeah, 12 grand coming back. And I got to tell you, I forgot how much fun it was. Like I had a ball. I haven't had that much fun since I was on vacation, like out in another country playing somewhere, you know?
Right.
I get in the house, I talk mad junk, and I do what I want. I say what I want, and I don't care about people judging me. That's one big thing.
How
So
do you do it? Like, how do you stay motivated and how do you get your mind right coming out of the field and, going in and closing that? I mean, you obviously sell at a really high level. So if you only sat with 6 and sold 6, that's not, that's not a normal thing. But what are you doing?
what am I doing as far as, well, here's what I will tell you. You asked me how I stay motivated, right? There's too many people watching to not be motivated. So if it was just about the money going in my bank account, I, I would be in my favorite place right now. Those of you that know me, it's Aruba, just so you know. I would probably be there. But it's not about that. It's about other people. Now, what I'm doing is I watched it from somebody on your team. Maybe it was like Nina or somebody was doing the day in the life. I think somebody was doing it at one point. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing it. So when I go out and help these families, I'm going to post a video. Hey, I just helped the family, this, an hour, $2,000. And here's a picture with the client. And I start putting those up. I now have people on my team starting to follow me. I don't know if you guys seen this one video. It's kind of cool. If you could go look it up, look up a video on YouTube. Just look it up. It's probably called The First Follower, right? The First Follower. It's pretty dope because what it is there's a nut guy. He looks like a stoner. It's like a Woodstock conference or something. And he's just dancing like in the middle of this crowd. Like people are looking at him like, what's this weirdo doing, right? And he's dancing for probably 30 seconds by himself. And then there's one weird guy that comes with him and he starts dancing, the first follower, which is the most important, right? And then before you know it, within 2 minutes, there's 500, 1,000 people dancing. That's what I'm doing. It's a movement. I'm out there hustling. People are following me. I set myself on fire. People are going to come around to watch me burn. That's what I'm doing. That's how I stay motivated.
That's actually leads to a question I really wanted to ask you. So I know you've been in the business for a while. First, did you start building when you first started? Because you said you're making 500K and a secret agent. So I'm assuming you didn't start building right away?
No. So I did at the other company and I really had a bad taste in my mouth because everybody I brought on board ended up getting burned. They all owed money. At 55%, it's so hard to survive. You got to be really, really good. Like I survived because I outworked the situation, if that makes sense. But at 100% or wherever you start at here, you don't have to be that good to make it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you can pretty much suck and still make 100 grand a year. That's pretty crazy. So no, but I was by myself and making $500,000 by myself. The next year it went up. Obviously it went up. It just kept going up. But I started recruiting, but I was playing around with recruiting. What that looked like is I would hire a recruiter. And then if I didn't give results in 60 days or 30 days, I'm like, you're fired. I would just keep doing that. I would do that type of stuff. And I wasn't serious about the business. I didn't see the vision. I got to tell you, like integrity definitely helped. But right before integrity is kind of when I started saying, you know what, I really want to help people. But I've never helped people the way I'm helping people now. Like I'm coming from a position right now of strength. I do not have to go sell life insurance. This is so selfless.
Right.
And obviously other people are doing it too. You got Dave Witcher. Dave Witcher's out there, and this guy, he's done it. And then he's still out helping families. If we all lead from the front, I mean, you're out there helping families. Jewel, like, does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And when you're talking about the fire, that's something I really want to talk about, because I think that that's something important to understand is like, yes, you're leading from the front, you have a fire that's just flaming behind you, but what are you doing to get your 10K performers to 20K, your 20K to 30K? Like, how are you elevating your people? Because there's no way you're at 100 and, or a 1.2 million without elevating your team. So I definitely want to know.
Can I be honest with you?
Absolutely.
All right. It might not be the answer you want. Okay. But you can't make anybody do anything. I would just find more people. And as I find new people, like, for example, I got some brand new guys that first week go out, rate 10 grand because they're smart enough to listen and not overcomplicate it. Right. And start going out and kill it at a high level where some people go with paralysis by analysis. They're too smart. They're analytical. I'm getting a new group of people that are coming in and just, they're listening a lot faster. They're trusting a lot faster. They're letting their guards down a lot faster. Now with doing that, with people being able to jump on board and listen a lot quicker, it's changing some of the other people that haven't been doing that. So Erica, some of the people have been sitting around watching saying, well, damn, like he doesn't answer my calls as much. No, I don't, because you're not working. And how can I answer your calls if I'm talking to somebody that's actually working? Hey, I still love you. If you come to the office, there's still donuts and coffee here for you. I'm just not going to get it for you. If you're writing 10, 15 grand a week as a new producer, guess what? I will ask you, as Sean says, what do you want in your coffee? But I don't do anything for those people. They see what's going on and they either wake up or ship out. And I'm not blowing anybody out the water. I love them all. I call them steady Eddies. If steady Eddies want to come and write, $1,000 a week, 5 grand a month, I don't mind them. But if they ever want to wake up, because there's some people that, like, for example, Mike Hilliman, if they blew him out of the water, he would have never been doing what he's doing now. He sucked in the beginning very badly. John Wetmore sucked in the beginning very badly, but nobody blew him out of the water. But one day a light bulb went off for him and he decided he could go out and sell at a high level. And that's the year he did 400 and something thousand. He got his red jacket and then he started building a massive agency. So there's nothing that I could actually do for those people, but go find other people that are motivated, self-driven, that want to do something. And those people will shine. Other people will rise to the top. That's how it works.
How are you getting your new people going so fast?
I'm telling them to stop playing around, invest money in leads. Don't be afraid. Get on the phones, jump on a live dial session and get after it. Everybody wants to sit around and I want to learn all this stuff first. It's not going to work like that. You're going to sit around and learn all this stuff and be out of business. Good luck. Is that what you want? Or you want to go out there and if you get stuck, you call me for help. You're going to learn a lot more from live fire than learning everything on every podcast. Oh, I watched your training 17 times. How many appointments you've been on? Well, I've seen the training 17. It's not the same. Mm-hmm. When I get these people to go out in the home and I say, look, do me a favor. Just go in the home and let me know how you feel afterwards. Tell me how much more you learned. And what I found, Erica, is when they go in the house and they actually get out of their own way, get over their fear and go to their first appointment, like 1,000-pound gorilla just came off of their back. And they're like, I was so overthinking that. And I'm like, you think? I've been telling you that the whole time. Like, what do you, and then they go to a second one. They're like, man, it's not that hard. Yeah, remember when I just told you, learn how to download the apps, the e-apps, learn how to run the illustration, know how to do the e-app, know how to look at the cheat sheet and call a manager if you get stuck. Remember when I said that? That was all I actually wanted you to do. And now look, you've done it. So today I had this girl, Rachel, and I had Will. I had both of those guys on my team call, which was right before this. Will, first week, did 8,100 and she did 6,500, but she's part-time. You know what I mean? But I had both of them on.
Any experience? Both non-experience.
So Will had a little experience, but was never successful. He had no experience. He had experience sucking and not being successful. And then he had success here just because I'm like, both of those guys are really smart. Both of those guys are typically the ones that will overthink everything. And I told both of them, stop it. Stop it right now. Stop overthinking everything. Do exactly what I say. And they did. And now they're having results. And I put them on there. I'm like, get on this call because I want you to help other people. And we had like 70 some people on this call that just heard what they did. And now if they do the same thing, guess what? I'm not dancing by myself. All right. It's the movement, baby.
What kind of leads are you having them buy? If I'm a new agent and I say, hey, Bryan, what do? I have this amount of money.
So I'll be honest, like you either have more money than time or more time than money. Most agents coming in have more time than money, right? Mm-hmm. And even if they had a ton of money, what I suggest that they go out and buy $82 retro mortgage protection leads? No, because I mean, you got a couple swings at the bat, and if somebody tells you no right away, you're probably going to have a heart attack. You'll freak out. Your skin's not thick enough yet, right? So I'm telling people, like, obviously you want to invest at least $1,000, right? Don't play with it, but you want to get to where you can spend $2,000, but start at $1,000 if that's where you are. I'll tell them to get the instance. A lot of people are doing the 1 to 3 month old, internet leads. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are calling the old mortgage protection. They all work. So I just started saying this, and you guys will be like the second or third to hear this, okay? In the beginning, all the leads that I just told you are going to be your entree, okay? That's going to be how you start your business. As you get better, as you make more money, as you become more seasoned, as you can handle objections a lot better, right? They're going to start turning into your appetizer. And then your entree is going to be maybe other sources of leads. That's when you can talk to your manager and say, hey, have I proven myself? Can I go on a BPL? Which is a BPL is where you're getting brand new leads and you're in a certain area, wherever they have them, right? Mm-hmm. But they're your leads. The thing about those leads, though, they're coming for 6 weeks, no matter what. So if you say, hey, I changed my mind. Well, Erica, being nice, trying to take care of you, put you on this lead program. Now you don't pay for them. She has to pay for them. And that's not fair. So I feel that you get somebody to build up to the level where they're sufficient enough to be able to take care of all this stuff. They have enough money in their account to take care of everything. And they can get on a roll and start putting everything together. And that's where you're now spending $2,000 a week, which was my recipe in 2016. I spent $2,000 a week every week for the whole entire year, spent $100,000 on leads, put $533 back in my bank account. Anybody could do that.
Great job, man. Now I say, we obviously we've grown to, as business partners, we're friends. I always lean on you. I would definitely consider you a mentor of mine. So I've learned a lot from you, and I'd love to just kind of hear a little bit about what has changed your business. So what has changed Bryan Mendenhall in the last year or so that really got that fire burning in you?
2 things. So I went and had a conversation with Sean Mike up at the corporate office. He was still up in Connecticut. And this was in the beginning of 2020, okay? It was actually December. I remember like it was yesterday. It was nasty. It was snow outside and everything. But Sean said, hey, Bryan, I love you, bro, right? I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, sure. He's
say
like,
that to everyone.
yeah, you said it to everyone. But he was like, I love you. And I was like, yeah. He said, I want you to build a big business. I said, I want to build a big business. He said, you won't. And I said, why? He said, well, because you're way too emotional. You wear your emotions on your sleeves. And I'm like, I'm passionate. He said, it's one thing to be passionate. You're passionate. Yes, you are. You're the most passionate person I've ever seen. I love your trainings and you do really well because you are passionate, but you're also emotional. He was like, well, you take the emotion out of your business. If you can do that, you will be huge. You can be one of the biggest people that we have. And I was like, I will. So I made a commitment in 2020 to take all the emotions out of my business. I'll explain. So for example, when I used to hire a recruiter and I didn't see results in 30 days, I made an emotional decision to let them go, right? I made emotional decisions about all kinds of stuff. There was no way that, I have 5 staff. If you're emotional, there's no way you have 5 staff. You can't, you just won't be able to do it. Does that make sense? So in 2020, I took the emotions out. And in the beginning of 2020, like right before COVID hit, we were only doing like 300, something like that. And then we just went to like, by September, we were doing 900. So some of the companies growing faster, but to go from 3 to 9 is a true triple, right? Which is pretty cool. And then some things happen, slow down here, slow down there. But I got away from a little making emotional decisions, right? So I got back to making emotional decisions and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to go back to that because that was working. And I just did something which is crazy that if I was making emotional decisions, I would not have been able to do. And we don't hire direct anymore. Okay. So like, I'm just going to be helping out all our agents. So as people come on, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, explain what that means. When you say you're not hiring direct, you're saying at this point, you're no longer taking new agents under you. You have established your leaders and you're now helping to build them up.
So all the money that I'm spending on social media or whatever, or for example, every single time, this is a major key alert, like he would say, right? Khaled would say, major key alert. Another one, listen, every time I post those videos when I go out to sell, I get at least 3 to 4 or 5 people want to join my team. All those people, I just give them away. I put them all in class, give them away to people. All the social media stuff we're doing, we just give them out now because I'm trying to help other people. But that's an emotional decision. That's giving away probably $20,000, $30,000 a month, every month, in free people, if that makes sense. So that was the first thing, the emotional decision, taking them away and not doing that. The second thing, if y'all ready, so you wouldn't know that I can be cheap, okay? Cheap does not look good on me. So at that same conversation, he talked to me about that because he knows me. We've spent time together. We've done stuff together, right? And I just said, I won't be cheap anymore. There's nothing cheap about my business. There's nothing cheap about me. I even tip way crazy. Like I tip crazy now. I'm just doing stuff that I didn't even think I could do before, but taking the cheap away allows me to say, hey, now I'm going to go out and hire this person that's going to make $80,000 to $100,000 a year. That's a lot of money to be paying out on top of 4 other people. Does that make sense? Like someone that's cheap and not putting their business first is never going to do that.
So Julius is asking, when you started giving your people away, was that when you realized that your business had kind of plateaued and you needed to do something different?
Julius, so I was in a different situation. I had probably 150 phone calls a day from agents calling me and asking for help. And I didn't mind helping everybody because I wasn't in the field. The minute that I went back in the field, I'm like, well, there's no way I could take these calls at this high level. And at the same time, I really want to see other people grow. There was one other thing, Erica, that we did, and this will help you too, Julius. So we did a lot of me and Aiko. She's a beast. If any of you have ever met her, she's the best person I've ever seen as far as handling the business operations. She's my operation manager. She's a monster. But what we used to do is we used to enable everyone. We did everything for everyone, and it was bad. It caused the wrong type of atmosphere, if that makes sense. We blew that up. I literally took C4, put it in there, blew the whole thing up. And then I said, guys, we ain't doing it no more. We're now going to empower you. So now we empowered everyone. And now through empowering everyone, we gave them their own responsibilities where now you help these people go to work. And now if you're not helping them, I will put them with someone else, but that's what it is. Everybody runs it a little different, but I actually came in to talk to Andrew. I went into Andrew's office, like, what are you doing? And I'm literally copying everything he does to a T. Now, I don't know how he divvies out the people. I didn't ask him all that, but everything else, I'm literally copying what you guys are doing. So it's kind of funny how it trickles down. Like I'm on a call helping Redemption and I'm helping, Julius and you guys. And I just went to Andrew and learned from him. And now it's coming back down to you. It's kind of crazy.
Well, apparently what you did, you went, you listened, and you did, right? And so now we all want to do what you're doing. So I think it's awesome to learn different perspectives and be able to interact with different teams. I remember doing the boot camp back in September, and you were one of the videos that stood out. So for me, it's surreal that it's kind of circled and here we are having this conversation. But I think the biggest reason I wanted you to come on is to talk about your sales, so now we know you're in the field. You're running the numbers just like everyone else. Even Bryan Mendenhall is getting no-shows, cancellations, and he's having to make the best of what he has in front of him. And not everyone is going to be able to go 6 for 6 every time, but I think that we would be doing the team a disservice if we did not talk about your in-home and the way you set up the table to deal with, different objections. What are you doing to have that level of success?
I mean, I'll be honest, all I'm actually doing is creating structure. People need structure. People want to be led. I go in there and take complete control. I don't forget why I'm there. And like the reason why I'm there is they filled out a form. So it's easy for us to kind of get confused sometimes because I probably wouldn't fill out a form. Julius might not fill out a form. You might not fill out a form, but they actually did. So when I go in there, I just keep that in the back of my mind. I know that I'm there for a purpose. I don't worry about being judged. That's one thing. If I could leave you guys with today, that'll change every single one of your businesses. Don't worry about what people think. Don't give a crap. When you go in the house, as long as your heart is real, your intentions are right, you're going there to actually serve the family, they will feel it. Like they will actually feel it. I could break down real quick some of the things that I do though. When I'm walking in the house, let's say it's an instant internet lead, a final expense lead, any other thing besides mortgage protection, I'm always asking the three questions. Hey, there's only 1 to 3 reasons why I'm here today. You got no coverage whatsoever, right? And you know, God forbid, when you die, you're going to leave somebody screwed. The second one is that you have some coverage, but you know you need more, right? And the third one is that you had coverage at your job, you lost your job, or when you left your job, you lost your coverage. Which one are you? And then they're going to answer one of those three. And with them answering one of those three, either one, I don't care which one they give me, either one they're buying, right? I used to get calls from agents. Hey, I'm in this house. I'm trying to replace this credential policy from 12 years ago. I'm trying to give them a better price. They didn't fill the form out for you to go out and give them a better price. They filled the form out for one of the 3 reasons. If you drop that nugget in the beginning, that will keep that off the table. Even if they have a policy, you will go in and be able to write them another policy because they would not have filled it out. I call it opening a can of worms. You're opening a can of worms by not doing that, and then you're stuck. Now you're sitting there trying to crunch numbers and write a policy that there's no way that you can find a better price for it. The only thing that puts a price on insurance is people's age and their health. And if they're older, how is it going to be cheaper? It won't work, right? The next thing is I'll say in the house when I'm actually sitting down at the table, and you can watch the call to close. It's actually broken down on there. But I'll say the 3 things that we're going to do today. I promise you guys, I sell from that 500 and whatever thousand that year, or from the 20,000 in the last couple of weeks, probably 10 to 12,000 came from this, what I say right now. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready?
All
right. The 3, and this is so easy. Anybody can do it. It's like taking candy from a baby. The 3 things we're going to do today, Bob and Mary. The first one is we're going to make sure we have some coverage that we put in place that is not going to be a penny more than you can spend. So it's going to be in your budget, not a penny more. Does that make sense? So yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm also going to make sure you understand how the program works, how it protects your family, covers everything. More importantly, that you understand it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. The last thing we're going to do today, and the most important, we're going to see if we can even get you to qualify. Because if you don't qualify, the price doesn't even matter. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I've taken it away. People always want it. If I pull it away, you're going to want me more, right? So I pull it away. And now when I do that, I double back and I say, so Bob and Mary, let me ask you, if we can find something that fits in your budget, you understand how it works, is actually what you were looking for and protects your family, and we can actually get you to qualify today, is there any reason why you wouldn't go ahead and protect your family today?
Gold. So you do that before you even show them numbers. Like you get them to say that, yeah, there's no reason I wouldn't do it.
So here's the deal. Like I'm trying to why make it hard? Why make it hard? Let's leave it less complicated. If I can get them to, well, remember, so they filled this out, right? Right? They filled the paper out, they filled the form out, they filled the lead out, they went online, they contacted me somehow. I have their info. So I'm not gonna play around and act like I don't know this. I know this. So if everything works out, why would you not do it? What? Because I'm Black? You don't like me? Or like, we have to figure something out, right? If any of those things, okay, the price works, it gives them everything they wanted, and they can qualify, why wouldn't you do it? If they can tell me something right then, I'll say, okay, well, let's talk about it. And I'll try to beat it right up front. 99% of the time, I won't get that. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I have 10 appointments, 11 appointments set up for the day, You know how it gets sometimes when you're out there and you're working back to back to back, you're busy and you haven't eaten, right? Let somebody say, nah, no matter what you show me, I ain't doing nothing. All right, bro. It sounds like you don't really care about your family. I'm out of here, bro. I got other appointments. I'm hungry. I ain't even get to eat. See you later, man.
You
And
say it just
sometimes
like that.
facts. So what I've done also, people like, nah, no matter what you do, I'm not gonna. Oh, no problem, Bob and Mary. Close my binder, get ready to get. What are you doing? I'm getting ready to go to my next appointment. They need the coverage, and they were hoping I could come out. I told them I wasn't even sure if I'd make it because I'm super busy. But you sound like it's not really important to you. Well, no, hold on, don't go anywhere yet. Why? What's up? Well, no, I think we do want. Well, let me ask you the questions again because I think maybe you didn't understand me. And I'll ask them again. If I do find something for you that makes sense, would you go ahead and protect your family today? Yes. Okay, then I'll stay. The takeaway really works.
I'm blown away. I don't think I've ever heard it kind of just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense why you don't get a ton of objections, but I'm a little mind blown how you literally get them to agree. Like I've heard people doing the yes, I'm here for a yes or a no, no maybe. Is that fair? Right? But like you are telling them if we do XYZ, like we're doing this today. But let's just say you were sitting in a home that said that, and then at the very end said, I don't know, Bryan, I'm gonna have to look at my finances and I'm gonna have to get back to you. I need to think about this.
Okay. So remember, there's a lot of other stuff that I actually do, but stay right there, okay? The other stuff that I actually do, like you remember, I sell through stories. So I'm selling through stories. I'm using emotional stories and all the different scenarios. All my stories are out there, so I'm not going to break them all down. I definitely tell my Aunt Tina story, right? And when I tell the Aunt Tina story, it's to kill the work insurance. But through stories and through telling a story about them, I'm making sure that I know why I'm there. I know what their why is. I also know that without me, they're screwed. They're up a creek without a paddle, and they need my help. So then I can always double back. And the way I would double back is when I went over the numbers and I said, all right, cool. So looking at these options, which one makes the most sense for you guys? And you just say something stupid like what you just said. Say it.
Oh, I don't know, Bryan. I have to look over my finances. I'm going to have to get back to you. I need to think about it.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page and I understand you. Because most of the time when people say they want to think about it, I haven't given them all the information they need to make a wise decision. But like I feel like I did. It seemed like we were on the same page. Just so we're on the same page, you did say this program covered everything that you were looking for. You actually got excited when I told you about the living benefits, right? You understood that. And then you were excited that I may be able to get you to qualify. And you actually told me that if I did get you to qualify, there's no reason why you wouldn't do it today. So it comes down to just, I'm assuming you want to think about just the money.
Yeah,
is that right?
I don't know if it's going to fit in my budget. I just need a few days.
Okay, cool. So before we even talk about the money, I just want to make sure everything else did make sense, right?
Yeah, no, everything else sounds great. I really have to think about it.
Okay, so let's go back to what we also talked about as far as the story. I don't know if you remember, but we tried to fit. Now let's say this is a mortgage protection appointment, right? Mm-hmm. So Bob and Mary, like we actually talked about, God forbid if you didn't come home, what that scenario actually looked like. And you didn't have a plan. You guys are in a bad place. I need to know what changed between then and now. Because now I'm going out of character for a second. You remember when I go through my story, I pin them down and I'm like, you need to tell me what the plan is. What are you going to do? Bob didn't come home. He's dead. I used the bloody driver license story. He's not coming home. What's your options? Where are you going to go? Kids can't stay in the same school. Boom, boom. I drill all the way down and I'm like, what's the plan? Bob tries to talk. I say, Bob, you're dead, bro. Stop. Hold on. Mary, what's the plan? Mm-hmm. And I'm not angry in the house, but I'm very passionate. And I'm like, what's the plan? And until they say, we don't have a plan. That's why you came out. Got it. That makes a ton of sense. So now when I'm going back and they say something and I go over everything else and I say, it must just be the money because everything else you talked about, I know how bad you need this. If we don't find something for you today, where does that leave you? And I let them go back and put themselves back in that same spot. And then all I do is I say, hey, listen, Erica or Mary, most of my clients have champagne taste with beer money. Okay. And it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. I don't drink, but if I were to drink, I'll take a Corona, right? So what I would say is, instead of looking at the 250, because I look at your eyes, they get big and you want the 250, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. Everybody wants the 250. What I would suggest is that you at least start somewhere, because something is better than nothing. Like, for example, 150 or 100 will still provide some kind of protection for now, at least to make sure that, God forbid, if something happened to you tomorrow, you died tomorrow, your family's okay. Or you got critically ill, whatever, your family's protected, right? You have something to start with. Some of these companies allow you 30 or 60 days to go back and actually change the policy and raise it up. Most of my clients they don't know what their bills are. They don't know what they can afford yet. Whatever, you can change it. But wouldn't it make more sense to have something versus nothing? And this way, instead of $300 a month, you're only at 123, but at least you can start and feel more comfortable when you go to sleep at night. Does that make sense?
It does. Money.
So let's start somewhere. Now, here's one thing I also say in the beginning, and it actually is powerful at the end. I say the 3 things, and I say the 3 things we're going to do today, right? I also say, hey, Bob and Mary, do I have your permission to be honest with you, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent? I need to know that I can be honest with you, whether I'm gonna tell you something that might piss you off, whatever. I need to be able to talk to you. Do I have your permission to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so do me a favor. I'm asking you to do this for me. Return the favor. So I need you to be honest with me about everything, okay? So now at the end, when they say it was the money or they wanted to think about it, and I go through and I say, hey, so what is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Most of the time when people say they want to think, I do all that. And then I say, is it the money? Is that what you wanted to think about? Well, yeah, it is. Hey, you know what, Bob and Mary? I appreciate y'all for being men and women of your word, because you told me you'd be honest with me, and nobody wants to say they can't afford something. Nobody wants to say that. But the fact that you told me that means that you're really serious about this and you're not playing. This is not a game. So we will find something for you in your budget. If you go back and remember, one of the first things I told you is we will find something for you in your budget and not a penny more. You remember?
Yeah, no, I do.
So let's do that. Bam. One more nugget. I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to let y'all go because I know you ran over on the other call. Any of y'all ever ran into a house where somebody got a $250,000 policy, you walk in and you're like, damn, I'm screwed. Now, what am I going to do now? Like, they have insurance, or you messed up and you didn't kill the work insurance. Kill the work insurance every time, first off. So let's just go with the $250,000 policy. If you ran in a house like that, 9 times out of 10, if you're selling mortgage protection, you think that you're up a creek without a paddle. I don't have a pen to write this down, but what I would always write down on the paper is B, write this down and then hold it up. B, E, I, D, all next to each other. Hold it up. I write it down like that on a piece of paper, guys. And then what I do is I circle the B and I say, guys, all of y'all don't realize, like, there's only 4 reasons why anybody would typically need life insurance. The first one is B, is burial insurance, right? So this is $15,000, $20,000 that needs to be a whole life policy. That needs to be in place. Do you guys have that? No. Okay, today I'm not here for that, but I can definitely help you with that too. So I'll put a star next to that, right? And then I would say the next reason why anybody would need insurance is estate planning. You guys have more than $2 million worth of assets? No, not yet. No problem. I'll put an X through that. I is income replacement. I'll circle that. This right here, guys, what you don't understand, Bob and Mary, Bob. So for example, you're making $100,000 a year. You're supposed to have 10 times your salary in the event, God forbid, you pass away, so that Mary can still live the same way. Just to tell you, and I know Mary's not like this, but do you know why most women have to remarry or end up getting with another guy? Because somebody didn't handle what they were supposed to handle, and financially they can't do it by themselves. So you're making $100,000 a year. You're supposed to have $1 million of regular life insurance to make sure that your wife and family can continue to live the same way. So write $1 million underneath the I. Do you have this in place today? Well, I know you don't, because you only have $250,000, right? Here's what's crazy. You thought you were covered. You're grossly underinsured. You got 2.5 years of your salary set up. That ain't enough, bro. And that's not why I'm here today. I'm here for D, which D is the most important to me right now. Circle it. D is for debt reduction. Now, debt reduction, I don't care about student loans, credit cards, blah, blah, blah. I only care about the mortgage because they'll take this house in a second if you don't have this coverage. See, you were going to try to use the $250,000. You thought you were going to pay the house off. Cool, pay the house off. Then what does she have for income protection? Nothing. So we need to set this up today. I need to come back and help you with the $1 million, and you need the burial insurance. Does that make sense?
Does.
Hold on one second. This is a microphone, right?
I love it. I love it. Bryan Mendenhall. Okay. I appreciate you dropping all these nuggets and spending time. I told you 30 minutes. It was 47. I could spend all day here with you, but just appreciate your time, man. Before everyone jumps off, I do want to let you know there is some exciting news that will be dropped later today. We cannot talk about it quite yet, but this is going to be an incentive for the producers. So for those of you that are looking to be a top producer or are already a top producer, there's going to be some really exciting news dropping today. So make sure you guys stay close to GroupMe, and your leaders will reach out. Okay, make it a great day.
Hold on. One second. I really appreciate Julius and yourself allowing me to come on and address the team. And I'm gonna watch out for all you guys. I want to see you guys explode and just go out and do some great things. If y'all need me for anything, I'm here. We all one team. All right, guys?
I appreciate it. Thanks, Bryan.
See you guys.